Welcome back. This is the video 3 of introduction to Bloomberg. We've covered in the first video news, economic indicators, as well as broad market, and then the video number 2 we cover bond and equity, and this last video here we're going to cover FX, commodities, fund, as well as technical analysis and some indicators. So first thing is FX, foreign currencies. FX IP is the usual screen. It's called Foreign Exchange Information Portal. If you click onto it, it gives you all the basic salient information: currency, the G10, the Asian, and also the foreign currency rates, the money market rate, bond market rate, equity. Now, it also gives you some FX news as well. So this is a very useful screen. It gives you leads you to other areas. You can click here and go to spot rates, FX calculator, and dashboards as well. Let's just click on the spot rates, and you can monitor the spot rates or cross rates. Let's just FX BG or rather FXGN here. You can see the different interest foreign currency rates of the G10, the euro dollar, dollar yen, pound dollar, dollar Canadian, Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollars, and look at the bid and ask rate and what has been doing for today. And the biggest mover, one of the biggest mover, is the New Zealand dollars. The earthquake in Christchurch has really affected it. It's dropped 1.98%, and XAU is gold, XAG is silver. They're both down today as well. You can also look at the crosses highlighted here. You can look at all the different tabs. You can also look at the currencies or emerging market currencies. These are all different locations. CNY is China yuan, Korean won, Hong Kong dollar. Some of these are pegged. Okay, so they have capital control, so they're not likely to move that much. So that's FX. Introduction to FX, the information portal. Now the next one is IPCM that I want to introduce you to. Okay, IPCM, it covers commodities. Okay, and if I click onto the CRR, it's called ranked returns. I already touched on this screen earlier. This is ranked all the commodities, which one has performed or how it's performed over the last or year to date. Okay, you can actually change it to monthly if you want to, and there's also other different sources as well. And you can also base it on different currency as well, and look at the best and worst performer, or you can look at all of them. Okay, how they all perform. Okay, this page 1 or 2. Click page down, you can see all the long list of them. Right, the next one is fund. Okay, analyzing fund or mutual fund. If I click onto fund, you can see that allows you to do news research, product information, fund function, as well as fund analysis. You can actually study this bit by bit. One that I want to highlight here is exchange traded funds. Is probably one of the most popular fund around. That is the hot topic right now. If I click on the ETF, you can actually find the exchange traded fund or exchange traded products that you want. You can search it based on geographical focus or based on region. Also futures as well. Or you can actually do a analysis. Okay, you can study the exchange traded product on a historical basis. There are a lot of different screens that you can go into, and this is one of them that you can actually study them in depth. The next one I want to highlight is the hedge fund homepage here. Alright, so you can actually study hedge fund as well. Let's look at the 1-year performance. You can do a desktop analysis, general information, hedge fund tables, as well as the many hedge fund links here. Let's look at the 1-year performance of hedge funds. From this, you can actually see that which hedge fund has performed the best or has been doing well. We'll just wait for Bloomberg to catch up with this. It's running a little bit slow. Let's see. Wasn't doing this before. Okay, now just pause for. Okay, finally the result has come up. You can see that the total return for 1 year, this Wall Street Creative, okay, 297% was their return last year. They are macro. You can actually see there's a long list of different style and different types and who has been performing the best. Okay, so you can look through the list and then study them and look at which segments or which management style has performed the best. Okay, so this is 1 year. You can actually export this to Excel or put it in a basket to monitor, and as well as save this or study multiple securities as well. Right, that is hedge funds. So that's a brief rundown on FX as well as commodities and fund as well. Next one I'm going to go and cover is technical analysis. So let's just say we pull up Singapore Airlines once again, okay, and if you type GP, okay, this is price graph with volume. Okay, you can see how it's performed. Basically how SIA has performed. It hasn't done too well, or since August last year it's been actually trending down. Okay, so the next type of technical analysis you can do is GPO, price bar graph with moving averages. Once again, you can see that it actually has been trending down as well. GPC is candlestick. Right, you can actually plot it in candlestick format. The 60-cent period as bar chart. It's just whichever preference that you have. You can do PFP, point and figure chart, or point and figure graph. Right, you can see that it's broken down the support and resistance. I don't actually have the time to go in depth on the support and resistance here, but you can see that it clearly is actually it's trending down. Now, let's look at GPC candlestick and just bring up some indicators to work with this graph. Let's just pull up RSI first of all, relative strength index. There are many ways to read RSI. The more common one is the overbought region above this red line. Oversold region is this green line, and divergence. I don't have time to cover divergence here, but this is a quick picture of how the actual RSI has performed for Singapore Airlines. MACD is the next one. MACD is moving average, convergence and divergence. Notice that it's actually been trending down as well, just supporting the actual general direction. And then notice the new low is supported by new low and moving MACD as well. So looks like the momentum is still down right now for Singapore Airlines. Right, next one, next indicator is WLPR, William Percentage R. That's another indicator. Again, is in the oversold region. Oversold doesn't mean that it will reverse direction. It's just that temporarily oversold, so it's likely to bounce, and it has for a short while, but very quickly it's gone back down again. So right now, if you look at this graph, it shows that Singapore Airlines stocks is in a very bearish trend right now. It's just heading down very quickly. Moving average, envelopes is another indicators that you can actually use. That is very useful. You can see that how the actual price or the movement has been is couple of times it actually has traded below, okay, below the purple line, which is the moving average. It's been trading on the bottom part of this segment of these envelopes here, so it's just been very negative overall. Right, that's a very brief introduction to technical analysis as well as some of the indicators. The purpose of these 3 videos really is to show you some of the codes. There are many more codes. Like I said before, there's actually that PowerPoint or PDF slides that you can actually refer to. There's just one code, last code that I want to introduce to you before I close up the video. Is the corporate action price graph. Let's look at this for Singapore Airlines. Okay, now the usefulness, or this is very useful, this code, is that it tells you what's been going on. Alright, so it tells you that in September 21st 2010 Singapore Airlines has issued a bond, okay, or debt offerings. You can see what price has been offered, what is the rating, or what is the rate, as well as the amount. Okay, and you can also see the dividend announcement, okay, divestitures, who has been I think it's sold some of the stocks. B, stock buybacks. Okay, more stock buybacks and more stock buybacks. So the management obviously thinks that it is selling below market right now, so they are buying back the actual stocks itself. But the market doesn't seem to think so. It's continue selling Singapore Airline. So that wraps up the introduction to Bloomberg, and I just want to show you the one last thing here is once again I covered this in the first video, but you might have forgotten it by now. But if you just write down these codes here, or this website here, fsrc2010.blogspot.com, 2011-02 introduction to Bloomberg. Okay, you can actually search through all the codes and more. I only cover a couple of codes, all in all probably 2,000 codes. There are a lot more here. You can actually, there are a lot more detail, forecast, broad market perspective, fixed income, equities, derivatives, chart, foreign exchange. So I'll leave that for you to actually explore. At this moment in time, I just want to finish off by saying thank you for paying attention. Hopefully you enjoyed this 3 videos, and the best way for you to learn is actually go and hands-on experience and use some of the codes I've introduced to you. So enjoy exploring.